Okay, so one hose can fill an empty swimming pool in 5 hours. If a second hose is used, the two hoses together can fill the same empty swimming pool in 3 hours. Find the number of hours it would take to fill the same empty pool using only the second hose. Express your answers in improper fraction reduced to lowest terms. Okay, this is another very common kind of problem. It may not completely appear like it, but this is a rate problem. I usually ask when I do this question with the students, what's that something they left out that you wish they had told you? And usually we'll get around to the size of the pool. Well, in reality, the size of the pool is actually irrelevant here because the hose fills it in a certain period of time. If the pool gets bigger, the hose gets bigger. If the pool gets smaller, the hose gets smaller. It adjusts. So the size of the pool is irrelevant. And I think the easiest way to show people how to do these problems then is to actually just pick the size of the pool. So what I want to do is just say, okay, I'm going to pick the size of a pool. Now, a pool is a lot of gallons. I don't want to get my numbers that large, so I'm picking probably more like a fish tank. Okay, I'm going to say that the fish tank or the thing I'm filling is 150 gallons. Now, why am I picking 150? Well, the reason I'm picking 150 is because in just a minute, I'm going to divide this number by two different numbers. I'm going to divide it by the 5 hours it takes for one hose to do it, and I'm going to divide it by the 3 hours it takes for both hoses together to do it. So I picked a number that are easily divisible nicely with both those values. It's just trying to make my life easy. You could literally pick any number you want for the size of the pool, as random and as weird as you like. It's just I'm doing something that makes my life easy. So if I have 150 gallons, which again is more like a fish tank or a bathtub than it is a pool, and it takes me 5 hours to fill that 150 gallons. So if I take 150 gallons, so I've got first hose, oops, that was horrible. All right, probably should use my left hand when I do this. My first hose, if I take 150 gallons divided by 5 gallons, is filling at 30 gallons per hour. Okay? Now, I don't know how much water my second hose is filling. I don't know what its rate is. I have no idea. No one told me. In fact, that's what I'm looking for, kind of, is what the rate of my second hose is. But I know what it is together because when they put them together, and again, this is kind of funny. I'm going to have to get a pen or something. Just trying to do this with a mouse. Okay, together, I know that together they're doing that 150 gallons in 3 hours, which means that's filling at 50 gallons per hour. So if one hose by itself is doing 30 gallons per hour and the hoses together are doing 50 gallons per hour, that must mean the second hose is doing 20 gallons per hour. So how long would it take the second hose if it was, that's what it wants to know, how long would it take the second hose all by itself? Well, you'd take 150 divided by 20, which would be 7, or I personally, it says write your answers in improper fraction. So I didn't even read that, but I prefer improper fractions. It would take it 15 divided by 2 hours, or 7.5, but it wants it as an improper fraction. So I'm going to leave it as 15 halves.